Psychosomatics is the mind and the body working together and how they communicate. What that means is we're looking at how you think and comparing it to how you feel and also to how you thereby take action. The reality is when we're not living in alignment, then there's an incongruency, and that incongruency shows up in behavior or actions that are actually not authentic or true to us. An example of that is just getting upset about something. Anytime we get upset about something, it just tells us that we're out of alignment. The main reason we react rather than respond is because we're not in alignment. That's when you consciously get to choose how you feel about something. When you're out of alignment, then your subconscious or your body ends up reacting because of how you feel. So our behavior ends up being connected to how we feel, which is why the feelings are so very important. Because the body never lies. The body will always tell the truth. So regardless of what the mind is thinking or what the mind wants us to do or how it wants us to act or behave, how we feel, especially when we're disconnected and not conscious and in alignment, then becomes the truth of how we behave, which is ironically one of the benefits. I say ironically because it's not really a benefit, but it kind of is, of alcohol and drugs and anything that alters a person's behavior, because what it does is it alters their mind's ability to override how they feel. Thereby, how they feel ends up being the truth of how they actually feel. So when you get men and women that when they drink, they get really lovey and huggy and touchy, and they're like, oh, bro, you're my best bud, you're my best friend. It shows how much love and nurturing they actually require. Same thing when somebody behaves angrily or violently. The more aggressive or the more angry, the more violent the behavior, all that's showing us is the greater the trauma the person actually experienced in the past. The higher the degree of aggression or violence or anger, the more severe the level of trauma that person has experienced in the past. So that tells us that somebody's behavior is not who they are. Their behavior is only the result of the trauma that they've experienced.